Hey everyone, I'm Big John and welcome to another episode of the Disability Show. So, this week I want to talk to you about park reservation tips. Now, for those of you who've been living under a rock these past couple of years, okay, since the parks reopened back in July 2020, after 4 months of darkness of the pandemic, Disney has a reservation system where you lock down where you want to go for a park on a particular day. So, what that means is you may want to book your reservation for a park as soon as possible, because right now down there it's spring break and it's crazy, and once it's full, you don't know when someone might cancel and you might want to boom it again. So always make sure that you make your park reservations as soon as possible, because like the week of Easter or next week when I'll be down there, it's gonna get it could get very hectic. So you gotta plan your crowds right. And even if you don't get your reservation, as we always say here on the channel, you can always take a break from the parks, take a chill day, go to a water park or something like that. So always make sure that you have a backup plan if you don't make a park reservation in time. So anyway, that's my tip. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now it's time for this week's Top 5. So, Disney has some of the best roller coasters in the world. Some very nice kiddie coasters like I do, some family coasters like I do, and a couple intense coasters that I don't do. Rock and roller coaster. So, anyway, here are my top 5 Disney roller coasters. Alright, number 5, Slinky Dog Dash. Now, this one is a very fun ride through Toy Story Land. It's almost as popular, if not more popular, than Toy Story Mania. And you zoom around Andy's backyard. You go up and down, and at the end you get a musical performance of You Got a Friend in Me from Wheezy from Toy Story 2, which I think is the very first time that Wheezy has been portrayed in the parks. So, alright, number 4, a ride that has possibly been delayed for its reopening from refurbishment, Expedition Everest. Now, this one has been under refurb since either January or February, but it is still a very fun ride. The first Disney coaster, if I'm not mistaken, that goes backwards during a sequence. When you get to the broken tracks, get to the part with the broken track, or as I like to call it, Hairbraid Hill. If you know, you know. But yeah, it's a very fun one. Number 3, the Barnstormer. Now, this was the very first coaster built at Walt Disney World just for kids, but I still do it. Because for most kids, it's their first roller coaster. And I think it's the perfect way to get them ready for the big boys. So I like to call it a training coaster for the kids, but I still like it because when you're in line, you get a perfect view of the Tron construction. And it's a fun one. All right, number 2, Big Thunder Mountain. First of all, honorable mention for Space Mountain. Didn't quite make it. But anyway, number 2, Big Thunder. This, of course, is probably one of the biggest rides in Frontierland, right next to Splash Mountain. Big Thunder, of course, is awesome. You ride on the runaway mine train, going through caverns and hills, and you always gotta best remove them. And if you know, you know. And it is probably one of the most classic Disney coasters. All right, number 1, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Now, this was a ride that replaced Snow White's Scary Adventures as the official Snow White ride of the park. Thank goodness, that ride traumatized me. But anyway, the mine train, of course, is not just a coaster. It is a coaster / classic Disney dark ride. And you go through, and it's the very first Disney coaster to have swinging buckets going and there and there and there. In other words, my mother doesn't usually ride it with us because it kind of makes her tummy it gets her tummy to have a little temper tantrum. But anyway, I still ride it. It is a fun ride. You get to go explore the Seven Dwarfs mine, and when you start going up the big hill, you hear hi ho, and then whoosh, you go around and around, and you stop. And it ends at the Seven Dwarfs Cottage with the witch staring creepily. But anyway, it's still a fun ride. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Disney roller coasters is. And speaking of Disney roller coasters, we have heard last week that Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind will be opening May 27th on Memorial Day weekend. We kind of saw this one coming, because the Imagineer in charge of this project accidentally tweeted the time window. So we knew it was going to come. We're glad it got confirmed, because this is Epcot's very first roller coaster. And a lot of people don't realize that. And they have tried doing roller coasters in the past. There was some concept art back in the 90s about a roller coaster ride through Mount Fuji in Japan. There should have been a Switzerland pavilion. We might have gotten our own version of the Matterhorn that they have at Disneyland. But I'm glad that Epcot is finally going to get a roller coaster, because they've needed one for quite some time. Of course, they have some of the best thrill rides at Epcot. You got Soarin', of course. You got Test Track, Mission Space, and of course some of the newer stuff like Frozen and Ratatouille. And of course, we got the Moana Pavilion coming down the road. Still no word if the Play Pavilion is even still happening. We don't know now, since the Epcot experience is now. And of course, with the Poppins attraction on the shelves at this point, along with the new Festival Pavilion that we were supposed to get, we don't really know what's going to happen at Epcot. We do know that Guardians is going to open, and sometime down the road, Moana will open. Then maybe we'll get some news on the Play Pavilion. Maybe we'll hear something this September at D23. You never know. You keep watching, I'll keep watching. Once I get some news, you guys will be the first to know. So anyway, that's this week's show. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities. I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now it's time this week's shout-outs. Make sure you guys check out my friend Holly over at Just Little Holly. She does the cutest toy unboxing videos. You should definitely check her out. Also, make sure you check out Pete McDivitt at the Pete McDivitt Show. He shouts me out. He's helping me get subscribers till I get up to 1K. He does great live streams about Disney and sports stuff. So make sure you check him out. Also, make sure you check out Mark Valentine's This Diz Life podcast, where he and his sidekick Dwayne talk about a lot of great Disney stuff. Also, make sure you check out Tanya, aka That Crazy Disney Lady. She does amazing live streams from the parks each and every week. And for the latest attraction news, make sure you check out our good friends over at Attractions Magazine. And for the latest Walt Disney World news and good ideas, make sure you check out our WDW Magazine. If you have not yet subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And tap the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, may the mouse be with you.